Enrique Tario was not in Washington, D.C. on that day. They sentenced him to 20 years. Ray Epps not only was there, but was advocating for people to go in, is on camera saying he knows he'll be arrested for inciting this. He says, I don't want to say it because I'll get arrested, but I'll say it. And they say it. And then he tells people to go in the Capitol. And then there's a video of him at the front barricade when it's first breached, whispering into a man's ear. And then they breach the barricades, storm the Capitol grounds. Yep. And this guy gets probation. We have so many stories of people like Brandon Strzok, for instance, never went in the building, prison. How about Owen Schroyer? Did not go in the building, prison. Many people are rightly wondering why it is this man, Ray Epps, is not getting any jail time. But more importantly, why he has been defended by the corporate press. Here's my conspiracy theory. He's actually just everything is perfectly straightforward and the corporate press is defending him. That's the real conspiracy. He actually is some bumbling Trump supporter who advocated them going to the Capitol, and the DOJ is like, let's go real easy on him and get our buddies in the press to defend him, so it makes everybody think he's the bad guy.
Well, you know, it's a very interesting situation, and the way that it's framed is very telling. So this article and many of the other articles you'll read is Ray Epps, who right-wingers and conservatives and conspiracy theorists allege was involved with the federal government in some capacity or needs to be punished more harshly than he's being punished, rather than Ray Epps, who whispered in the ear of the first person who broke down a barricade, or Ray Epps, who was inciting the riot a day before and telling people they should enter the Capitol and who was then called a Fed.
Yes,
they never point out what actually happened. But they never point out what the evidence shows. They always point out, this is what right-wingers think. This is what conservatives think. This is what conspiracy theorists think, not this is what happened.
Right. And the very, very important thing about these videos is Ray Epps saying that he knows he will be arrested for what he is about to say. And then he says it. He knows what he is saying is incitement to illegal activities. Mm-hmm. And they avoided charging this guy for a very long time.
Yep. And their argument was he never set foot in the building. But like you said, Brandon Straka and Owen Schroyer are both people who never entered the building either, and yet they were charged and they were in prison. And Brandon Straka, who we actually had on the show, had to plead down from like 20 years or something like that. They were trying to lock him up in federal prison for a very long time. And he never entered the building. They lied about the evidence. They said that he was egging people on and telling them to go into the building when it's not clear that he actually was, because you can't see him on camera. And according to him, it's someone off camera yelling it. We actually have footage of Ray Epps telling people to go in and whispering in someone's ear. And he gets 6 months probation when they were trying to charge Brandon Straka and lock him up for 20 years.
This is the most black-pilling situation I think that's going on in the United States right now. The way that the people that were at the Capitol on the 6th are being treated, the way that the government has really, set the conditions so that it's clearly favoring people and clearly going out of its way to essentially, prosecute people for things that are protected under the Constitution. And it's blatant. And the real disheartening thing is not that the government is doing it or people in the government would do it, because they're all garbage anyways.
Yeah.
It's that there are so many Americans that support it. And this goes back to the fact that America is going through, in my opinion, America, and a lot of other people too, America is currently going through a cultural revolution like they had in China. And what that means is the fundamental principles that our country is founded on. And I'm not talking about religion or any of that kind of stuff. I'm talking about simple, basic things like you are innocent until proven guilty.